Welcome back to another video. It's Bear, or Bear with the full name. Today we're gonna talk about how to how to best use your bullet bills in a race. So a lot of times people will get a bullet bill and they panic, they don't know when to use it, so they use it. You know, if you're in this video is mostly if you're new to the game or if you're semi-experienced. If you're super experienced, you've probably watched many different bullet bill videos, know the extensions, know all the shortcuts, know everything. That's great. Fantastic. Congrats to you. I hope you win every single tournament you compete in. But for this specific video, it's mostly just for people that are casual or more mid-level, like I need to get a little bit better, I don't know where to use it specifically. There's many different many different places you can use a bullet bill, you can spam it, you can do whatever, blah blah blah. But specifically, let's actually go back into our handy-dandy info item menu real quick, and let's just pull up the description of what the bullet bill says for the game, right? By the way, we have our little guy here. I don't know if you noticed, I always put my little bullet bills. Whatever item I talk about, I put it there. Anyways, so bullet bill. Temporarily to transform you into a bullet bill, making you zoom automatically toward the finish line while knocking over any vehicle you make contact with. Now, it does have a certain amount of time it lasts depending on your placement. Also, in terms of item probability, when you can get the specific bullet bill, it actually depends also where you are at. So you really, chances are, if you're playing the game normally, 9th through 12th is when you'll typically get the bullet bill. If you're looking to know what your item probability, you're more welcome to go into chat on my Twitch channel and just type in exclamation point probability. And it should pop up for this like calculator from Japan, or it's in the MK tips as well on my chat, so you can look that up. So, but we're gonna actually go through every single course, and I'm gonna show you. I already have specifically every course pre-recorded and trimmed down. Did that off stream, so that way I'm not wasting like 2 hours pulling a bill in 9th place, and so you can see me use a bullet bill. so don't worry, we're not gonna waste your time. We're actually just gonna go, I'm gonna go to single player here. So the best way to practice bullet bills is to go to single player, go to versus mode, select whatever character you want. I always like Roy, so I pick in Roy on Mr. Scooty and my roller wheels, all that stuff. So, also 150cc, you wanna make sure you get hard comms, all that. This is the basic way you practice. So, we're gonna go with, these are the 48 courses that are available right now. So if you're watching this video, after the Booster Course Pass DLC is released, I will probably make another video that will show you, based on after I compete in tournaments and I play with other people and converse with other folks as well, what strategies they think the bullet bills will be perfect for Mario Kart Deluxe for those specific stages. We'll have another video for those, and I'll probably combine those later on. But specifically, we're going to talk about these 48 courses. And we're going to start from Mushroom Cup, and then we're going to go down to Shell Cup. It's going to go top down, because the way that the waves are releasing for Mario Kart Deluxe Booster Course Pass, I believe they're like, it's like you get top bottom. It's something like these two. So that's how we're going to go in order. So the first course we're going to look at is Mario Kart Stadium. So Mario Kart Stadium, we're actually going to go to the clip I have here. Okay, so for Mario Kart Stadium here, I'm going to pause it right here. So I have a bullet bill in 12th place. You want to specifically use the bullet bill. It's after technically the second boxes. When you see the Mario Kart guy on top at the second lamp, you want to activate it there. When you're on this path, you kind of want to hold left a little bit. It should let you go right after boxes in the air. And if you have a mushroom, you should be able to do this little cut, and it gets you a pretty nice safe spot, and you just cross the finish line. So that's where for Mario Kart Stadium. I'll let it play again so you can see it. That's what I would recommend to go through. Your most important goal with the bullet bill is gaining speed.
Oh my god!
Also, like in general, you want protection. So like you want to make sure your bullet bill ends when before boxes or after a very like a big glider spot where you might get charger shocked or might get hit. So that's Mario Kart Stadium. Pretty simple. So we'll go back. Next stage we're going to talk about is actually Water Park. So Water Park is a pretty short track. It's not like very rare you get a bullet bill in Water Park. But the place where I would recommend it is actually, you're coming up here after the first boxes. I'm in 6th place at this point, so it's a little bit different. But you want to use it after you go into the water. I would recommend using it right I almost got hit there, right before the crevice. And you kind of just want to hang left, and then it should let you go right in the straightaway. And if you have a good item like I did there, I kind of just zoom. So what it does there is you're in a tight little path. You go through everything. You might get an item box if you need an item box, and then you just have a straightaway that can go and you just use your item. So that's what I would recommend for the water park specifically. Now, the next course we have here is Sweet Sweet Canyon. So for Sweet Sweet Canyon, it has a cannon area, so it's very specific. So what you want to do is actually use it right at the last part. So at the last bit here, where there's a donut, you want to activate it right before, like hop into the cut, use it. It should let you go right before the glider spot. So I actually got hit by the link here, I think, and I had to slow down. Yeah, I got hit by the link, so it kind of ruined my line there, but it still works what I want to do. So I got hit by the link, but I'm like, whatever, I'll go. I hop. Basically, you want to drift and hop into it, and then use the bullet bill. I end up getting a dodge, which is like one of your main things you want to do, and then it lets you go right before the glider. So it's a great spot. In general, your main goal when you use the bullet bill is this specifically. You want to gain distance, you want to cut through a shortcut, and you want to hit people, but you also want to be protected. So having a lightning bolt or a shot activated while you're in a bullet bill is one of your, like, you wish that happens. Most good players probably won't activate it if they see too many people in bullet bills, but at this situation, this was optimal, this was great. It brought me all the way up to first, and at a star, and then I just zoomed past that. So that's Sweet Sweet Canyon. Hopefully that was helpful. Don't post that shit, what the heck? Hopefully that was helpful. Alright, we're gonna go to the last one in Mushroom Cup, which is Thwomp Ruins. Thwomp Ruins, I've sometimes gotten a bullet bill in Thwomp Ruins before. It's pretty rare, but there's actually one spot I would recommend, which is right after the second set of boxes. So like the place where the tumbling line goes. This is lap 2, so this area is not visible in lap 2. If you're in lap 1 and you have a bullet bill, you can hang left, but I do this specifically. I go in, I use it right before the little glider ramp. You'll end up just going through everything. As you can see, I basically dodged the bullet for the blue shell, and then I got let off right before boxes. So I was able to immediately use my star, get an item box, and then like catch up. So I was able to do everything what I wanted to do with the bullet bill, which is get past a certain area that's kind of tight, kind of scary. Also just avoid getting hit by everything else. So that's Mushroom Cup. Those are the 4 courses for where I would recommend for a bullet bill. So now we're gonna go to Shell Cup, and we're gonna start with Moo Moo Meadows. If you get a bullet bill in Moo Moo Meadows, it's likely that you're not a good racer. Sorry. But it's very rare that you get a bullet bill in Moo Moo Meadows. So, yeah. Sorry if I called you out, but yeah, getting a bullet bill in Moo Moo Meadows is weird. You're either bagging too hard or it's just, I don't know, man. You're just playing poorly. But let's say you did get a bullet bill in Moo Moo Meadows. So, you got it, right? Fantastic. Where do I use it? So the key thing in Moo Moo Meadows is 1, you want to take it where the cut is for the cows. 2, I don't hit any of the cows. I feel like if you hit a cow with a bullet bill, bro, you're just bullying the cows. Leave them alone, man. So what I do here is, obviously I take the lines. I avoid hitting the cows, which is very sacred. And then I hop into that corner. I didn't even hit that cow. See, that's awareness, baby. I try to make sure they're safe. And that's where you want to use the bullet bill. Basically, what it does is it gives you hella distance. It gets you past the boxes. Yeah, I read that right. It gets you past the boxes, but it gets you in a nice little straightaway here. So it releases me right there, and I can just trick, go on the ramp, go forward. It's very rare you'll get a bullet bill there, but in general, I think it's a nice place to be at if you have to use a bullet bill in Moo Moo Meadows. Probably one of the best places. Okay, now we're going to talk about... Actually, this is our first bullet bill extension that actually matters. So this is Game Boy Advance on the Shell Cup Mario Circuit. So we're actually going to play our bullet bill extension sound effect here. and we're gonna get into what this looks like. So what you want to say, so when you hear bullet bill extension, that terminology is that specifically there is an area in the track where you use the bullet bill. It gives you actually extra distance because the bullet bill doesn't want to release you in a weird spot in the way the game mechanic works. So that's when you hear bull extension tech. That's what it is. So I don't do this perfectly, but this is basically where you want to be. So it's not the best extension, but you want to use it right at the off-road and right between those tires. Your bill will go up, you zoom through, you hit people, which you want to do, and it will release you right on this corner here. And then I activated my star, I zoomed in and got the double, big chillin'. So basically that's where you want to use it. It's a really good in the final lap because you'll be able to zoom through a bunch of stuff. I end up getting a bunch of distance. If you have a powerful item like a shock or a star or a boo right after, you can literally be in a dodge for a good solid like 10 seconds from any lightning. So that's the best place to do it for at Mario Circuit. Hopefully that's helpful. And keep in mind that if you can't hold the bullet bill for that long, like then just use it, because sometimes we can get messed up. All right, so next track on Shell Cup is called Cheep Beach from the DS. The bullet bill here is a little weird. I usually don't get the bullet bill in Cheep Beach, so I remember when I was trying to look up stuff and like what we can do. Specifically, I used it here at the final lap, at the final turn. This is probably your best bet to use a bullet bill. You'll likely won't get a bullet bill in lap 1, but you'll probably get a bullet bill lap 2 or 3. And if you can hold on to it long enough, the best place to use it is actually right here on the last tree on the right. You want to activate it right between the trees, and then you'll go up. You'll get through this narrow path, which is super, super tight. Obviously, at that point, I didn't have a pack. Like, this is just computers. But with, like, an actual good racer pack, you're probably going to go through, and they'll probably have shells and all that stuff, and you can just zoom right through everything else. My lines weren't perfect there, but it's fine. That's the best place to do it. So remember, in between the trees, you activate it right there, and you should be fine. Okay, so now, next track, we are going to go to Toad's Turnpike N64. So, Toad's Turnpike is very much a running track. It is, if you get a bullet bill, it's kind of tough, but there is obviously the best thing to do is the bullet bill is you want to hit the cars. But there is a specific spot that I would recommend it. It's probably my least favorite track, but it's actually, so I got the bullet bill at this situation I had in lap 1. I believe it was going into the final turn here. And I used it right at that final turn. So you can use the bullet bill either lap 1, 2, or 3. But basically what you want to do is, right at that final turn, just use it there. It just helps you get to the finish line. That's all it really is. A lot of times some bullet bills are like not really for gain distance for across off-road. Let's just get to the finish line. This is one of those, just get me to the finish line, I don't care, whatever. Because you just want to go. And a key thing on this map specifically, I'm going to pause it right here. So on the left, you see on the left here, those anti-gravity panels. Whatever you do, do not use the bullet bill there, because you're essentially going the slower path and you're forcing your bullet bill to go to the slower path. So don't do that. That's like the worst thing you can do. The best thing you can do is just use it on the track and it'll hit the cars, hit the people, and you'll dodge something hopefully. But again, the best spot for me, in my opinion, would be the last turn at Toad's Turnpike. One of my least favorite tracks. So, oh well. All right. So, also, if you're watching on YouTube, don't worry. I'm going to have, and everybody on Twitch, I'll have timestamps when this is on YouTube, so you can go find what specific track you want. So you don't have to scroll through like a 40-minute video, figure out when the hell do I talk about Shy Guy Falls or something. So don't worry about that. All right, so next is Flower Cup. We're going to talk about Mario Circuit. So Mario Circuit is a pretty basic course. Most people know about it. There's not really like the best bullet bill strats in the world for this, but optimally for me, my opinion, I prefer the first turn on the off-road to gain a bit of distance, and then it should release you right before your boxes. So let's see how this goes here. So I'm in 7th place, I use my bullet bill, I hop, and then I activate it. I'm holding right of it so it can let me go, and eventually it should let you go before the boxes. Sometimes it lets you go a little bit after, depending on the pack, but I was able there to be let go, use my star, and then gain distance. It's an okay strategy. Like honestly, It's not the best thing in the world, but if you get a bullet bill there, that's probably what I would recommend it. You want to make sure you get released before boxes if you can. Okay, next track is Toad's Harbor and Flower Cup. This is one of my favorite courses. I love Toad's Harbor. So there is actually a specific spot where I would recommend a bullet bill, because there is this course has a fork path here, and it's actually crucial that if you have a bullet bill here, I have a bullet bill in 6, right? That you do not use it before the fork. You want to make sure you're hanging on the right and then you use it, because your bullet bill can go take the slower path and you don't want that. You want to make sure it takes the fastest path. So this is after you go through the like barrels, and there's like a little city soundscape. So at the fork, press play. Wait, not share. Come on, don't do this thing. You want to wait a little bit, and then you want to activate it right after the box. You see I was able to dodge someone that had triple greens, and then just releasing me right after. And then I just destroyed that little CPU guy. But like, that's basically the best spot to use in my opinion. You'll gain more distance if there's like more people in front of you, but it helps me at a tight corner. If someone had like a bunch of red shells or green shells or a bomb or whatever, I could get through it. And then it releases me before the boxes. But so that's Toad Harbor. Hopefully that helps out. Now we're gonna go to Twisted Mansion. So Twisted Mansion, some people would consider this as one of the nice bagging tracks. I wouldn't say so. But there is a specific spot. It's pretty obvious where it is, but we're gonna also show it, obviously, because that's what this video is for. So I'm in 10th place here, and this is the cut after the dining room table, after the first boxes. So I'm on the fastest path, which is the left path, and then I'm taking a drift. You hop, and then you want to make sure you use the bill when you can. I kind of messed up a little bit, but once you use the bullet bill, it should get you around this tight corner and to release you in a really nice line. And I even dodged that green. So like, I was able to basically cut a huge distance there. This spot here can get hectic with a lot of like spammy players, but it will release you right in the straight line and keep going. So that's the best spot to use it in Twisted Mansion. Hopefully that helps out as well. Alright, so now we're going to go to the final cup here in Flower Cup, or the final course in Flower Cup, which is Shy Guy Falls. So Shy Guy Falls is interesting, the bullet bill. This is one of those, like, you use it to just get to the finish line bullet bills. It's not really, like, a crazy thing. So as you can see here, I'm 12th place, and I have a bullet bill. So instead of me going the long way, I opt to take the cut here, activate the bullet bill, and it will boost you through the shortcut, release you right before the finish line. Not a huge gain, but in a really tight pack, this would be great to have in your final lap, especially if a lot of people have a lot of items and you just want to go through it. So that's the best place to use it, in my opinion, for Shy Guy Falls. You should cut through the yeah, that's tough with certain areas. Okay, so now we're gonna get to the Banana Cup, which actually has 3 bagging tracks in it. Well, Royal Racer is kind of a mixed bag. So the first one is Dry Desert. Dry Desert, if you play Dry Desert with casual players, you're anyways probably racing normally. But if you play it with semi-sweaty people or really sweaty people, they're probably going to bag the hell out of that track. But the bullet bills in this specific area is not the best. What you want to do is essentially use it for protection, a little bit of distance, and be released before the final boxes. So at this point here, I'm basically a third through the track. I'm before the second set of boxes. Basically, what I would recommend is you use it right on this cut here. You want to hop, just hop, and then use it. You should be able to cut through the fastest path here. It should release you right before boxes. So at this point here, using before boxes, I use star. I didn't get an item box, I got mad, so I started hitting the computers. That's like, so ideally it releases you before boxes and you should be able to get item boxes, but I actually got screened by the damn computers. I was so mad. Because like that only happens in a tournament, not by actual CPUs, but that's the best place in my opinion, because it'll give you protection and you get released before boxes, and if you have a powerful item and this is the final lap, basically I won the game. Like it was like, it's done, it's GG. So that's Dry Desert. That's where I would recommend for the full bill. Now we're gonna go to Donut Plains 3 on SNES, the Super Nintendo one. So for this one specifically, it's a little bit interesting because this is a very short track. So, ooh, don't not delete that. So what we want to do here is, I'm on lap 1. It's a little different lap 2, lap 3. Final lap, I don't know if you'd be able to get a bullet bill at this point because you have a lot of chaos, but lap 2 this would definitely be a good strategy. So right here you want to use the bullet bill right on the cut there. You basically want to drift hop and then use the bullet bill. It'll cut you through that area that's kind of tight. It should get you past the finish line right before boxes. So that way, it basically, if you're doing this lap 3, you're basically going to the finish, all good to go. If you're on lap 2 or lap 1 like here, you're basically protecting yourself, and then you get off right before your item boxes for the first set, so you should be okay. But yeah, that is Donut Plains 3. Now we're gonna get to Royal Raceway. So Royal Raceway, there's a weird spot for the bullet bill here because you're actually going to be skipping item boxes, which sounds counterproductive, but for the most part, it's actually decent. So the area you want to use the bullet bill is after the glider. See, I'm skipping boxes here, which sucks, but ideally you want to have another item in secondary. But you drift, hop, and then you pop it. It gets you through this really tight corner. Also, keep in mind you can't hold left or right to move the bill a little bit left to hit people. I usually try to hold it left to keep tight lines. It doesn't really do that much. It just makes me feel a little bit better. So yeah, and then again, just right there, want to activate it, and then it should get you some distance. It should just take you to the finish line. But in general, that's how it is. It's one of those finish line bullet bills. Not the best thing in the world, but it's okay. Okay, now we're gonna go to DK Jungle. DK Jungle is a really cool looking bullet bill technique. I like to show. It looks really nice. So this one specifically is at the I believe this is the second item box, and right before the glider little bouncing frog said. So there's an extension. Yeah, this is basically an extension. That is correct. Gecko is reminding us this is an extension. So we are going to do the R2D2 scream, and we're going to show you how this goes. So basically, you want to do is you want to drift into this port here, hop, and then use it there. Your bullet bill should land right on top of the glider, and kind of zoom you through and release you right at a nice little spot there. I believe if the pack was a little bit farther, I'd get released later on. But it's a nice spot. It gets you through a really kind of scary area, and then it releases right before item boxes. So that's nice. So that's DK Jungle, and I believe that's all of Banana Cup. Okay, great. So now we're gonna go to the Star Cup and start with Sunshine Airport. So Sunshine Airport is interesting. No, do not go to the shop. No. No, we're not buying anything. Okay, all right. Sunshine Airport's interesting. Okay, Gecko was noting in DK Jungle should release you at the end of the turn in normal pack, I think. Yeah, that is correct. I think with CPUs, it's kind of hard to get things down, but just to review one more time on DK Jungle, the Gecko is correct that it should release you if the pack was a little bit farther apart, which kind of helps your bullet bill. It should release you right at that corner, so it ends up being a little bit better. Okay, but now we're gonna talk about Sunshine Airport. So Sunshine Airport is one I just like the look of it, the course itself. But if you get a bullet bill, it's likely you're in lap 2 or lap 3. Essentially, what you want to do here, you want to use it right before the item boxes. I could have took that a little bit better, but what it will do is it'll get you through this tight path, and it should release you right before the little spot there, and you should be able to get a box after and keep going. So you want to use it right after you see. Rewind it a little bit here. Right after you see the gates and the sunshine on the left. Your cues, if you take it, you should be better than me and be a little tighter on the left. But as soon as you pass the little toad on the right and the little Sunshine Airport post, you want to activate it there, and it should be able to get you through a nice little spot. Again, not the best racer, but at least want to show you what I would think would be good to have. So that's nice. Okay, so now we're gonna go to back to here. We're gonna go to Star Cup, and don't start the race. And then we're gonna talk about Dolphin Shoals. So Dolphin Shoals is actually, as we call it, the cool kids. There we go. We're bullet bill extension. Let's go. Thank you. This is a huge bullet bill extension area. Massive. Can make a huge play on you for your race, and you can actually gain a hella distance. So the way they do this is, one, get a bullet bill, obviously. So there's different areas that you can specifically do this, but I'm gonna show you my favorite way to do this, which is essentially, this is the start of the lap, correct? You wanna go through, you wanna drift in after the blue coral, you wanna wait till you're done with, right before item boxes, activate it. You should be able to get through this huge area here. As you can see, my bullet bill will stop right before, right after boxes actually, it'll stop right after the eel. This actually would go even farther if the path was a little bit spaced apart, but that's the best way to use the bill from my perspective. As again, you want to make sure you get a good line here, and you want to use it right before your boxes. Your build should go through absolutely everybody, and it will even continue on into like midway to the eel. Sometimes it goes even farther, but Gecko's noting that I used to use right before starting line, so I get to trip off the pipe and get a box. That is also a good recommendation as well. But then again, that's Dolphin Shoals. That's where I would recommend using the bullet bill. Again, it's right around the item boxes, but right before it is something that I like to do. Mostly because some people might use shock, and if you do it before they get the item box, luckily at least gives you a little bit of protection. As you can tell, for this specific cut here, I have two protections. I had a bullet bill and a boo, so basically I'm invincible for half the course there. So fantastic bullet bill extension, really important to know for Dolphin Shoals. Okay, so back into the cup we're talking about, which was Star Cup. So Electrodrome, not Dome. People always forget the R. So we're talking about Electrodrome. Electrodrome is like, if you get a bullet bill Electrodrome, it's kind of interesting because because it's not really common unless you're trying to bag for it. So and it's kind of obvious where to use it, but we're gonna show it anyways. Where I use the bullet bill specifically is right at the cut here, right before the pillar. Basically, I was able to hit that pillar, get this distance here. It's gonna release you. Shouldn't release you in if it's a farther apart lobby. It should release you in a better line later on. But my computers are being all wonky, so it should actually release you after the corner. But for some reason at this point, it released me right after boxes at this point. So it ended up being a really weird area. But in general, that's where I would recommend it. So this is really good. I would say probably in lap 2 or lap 3. It's kind of like but either way. I think it's an okay place to use it for Electrodrome. All right, so now Mount Wario. Mount Wario is the last course in Star Cup, but Mount Wario is specifically a running track. So if you get a bullet bill Mount Wario, you're really struggling, and it's tough. It's really tough. At the end of the guide section, yes, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, thank you. So Mount Wario, if you get a bullet bill, you're really lagging behind it. It's tough on you. It's okay. But there's a place that you can use it. So typically speaking, you'll get it at the second lap. So as you can see here, I just passed the I believe this is the second set item boxes. I forget exactly where. But this is after you go through the water section where there's spraying everywhere and you get the booster glider. And this is before the trees. So specifically, all you gotta remember is the Mount Wario, the trees. The trees are the most important part. You want to basically go where the cut is, hop into it, activate it. What this will do is it'll protect you as you go through all this chaos, because this is probably the most hardest thing. And then I hit the tree. So yeah. So as you can tell, sometimes things like that happen. Not the best thing for a video, but I released you right before the tree. So even with the bullet extension, I still had a little bit of a tree, and I panicked a bit by not using my star immediately. So I was like, what? Why did I do that? But anyways, that's the best place to do it. If the pack was a little bit farther along, it would have probably released me after that tree, and I wouldn't just bump into it. But in general, that's where I would recommend for Mount Mario. Is you get through this area that's chaotic, and then it gives you a bunch of distance, so it's pretty decent. Okay, so now we're gonna go to we finished with Star Cup. We're gonna go to Leaf Cup. So Leaf Cup is interesting because we start with Wario Stadium, and Wario Stadium is also a running track. So if you don't know, again, just repeating myself, running tracks are specifically you for speed. You don't want to lag behind too much. So if you do get a bullet bill in Wario Stadium, that's really unfortunate. But there is an area where we would recommend it, and I am going to show it to you right here. So I keep in mind I'm not doing the best lines. I usually would trick in every other, but I just wanted to make sure I can use it correctly. So where I would recommend it is actually right after that boost, obviously you want to get that boost panel before you use it. But what this does is the bullet bill protects you through this really dangerous corner of getting hit, and it releases you right before that trick. So again, if you're doing this, remember to trick and then use it. Don't be bad like me. So, but more importantly, it gets you to this really tough spot. This anti-gravity section is really scary, but it releases you right after that area, and you'll be able to get item boxes after. It's really wonderful in lap 2 or lap 3 situations. If you have a bullet bill in lap 1, you're so far behind, you're gonna get like maybe 9 matches. It's tough. But again, that is Wario Stadium. Now we're gonna get to Sherbet Land. In Leaf Cup. So Sherbet Land is pretty interesting. I've gotten a bullet bill before in tournament and other races with them. So what you want to do is actually, it is the right by the final item boxes. As you can see here, you want to drift in as tight as you can, and then you want to let go, hop, stay to the right, and then activate it. The reason why you're doing this instead of the water will be a little bit slower for you, and you want to make sure it releases you right before the boxes and after the finish line. So it's one of those, like, just get me to the finish line bullet bills, which is fine, but this is probably where I would recommend it. Great lap 2, fantastic lap 3, if you can hold a bullet bill that long. So, yeah, that's it. So remember, last boxes, tight corner, try to get your super turbo, purple turbo, and you go zoom, 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 and then use that, and you can see here, it got me all the way up to first. And then I just smashed and fell off my Piranha plant there. Alright, so that is Sherbet Land. Now we're going to go to Music Park. So Music Park is really interesting because Music Park can be a running track. So if you're falling behind a lot, the bullet bill may seem like there's certain areas that you can use it. A lot of people have used it at the end for later on or the beginning. It's up to you, but specifically for my preferences, for any bullet bill, I always use it to protect myself and to gain distance. That's always my main thing. So I used it right after the second Piranha plant. It will get me through this really, really tough area, which is the keys are they can just get obliterated. As you can tell, like, there was a bomb and everything, and it was just nuts there. But I was able to get past through a lot of people. I got myself from 9th all the way to basically 2nd place. And I still retained a pretty powerful on my secondary. That computer bomb sniped the other computer, good for them. And then I ended up just getting off right before the glider section. So if you do get shocked or get hit, you have a glider to regain speed. So it's not that bad. So that is Music Park. Hopefully that was helpful. Now we're going to go to our last stage last course in Leaf Cup, which is Yoshi's Valley. So Yoshi's Valley, there is actually a lot of people use their bullet bills in different areas. So as you can tell, I am in 10th place here. This is basically the beginning of the course. Now, a lot of people use the bullet bill at the bridge, or they use it somewhere in this weird area. In my opinion, it's best to use it right around these boxes coming up. The bridge doesn't release you where you want to be, and it has a weird line after. So I'm gonna just show you and kind of talk you through it. So you released it right after the trick went through. I release it, and then it should let you go. Actually, if you're in like a farther apart pack, it will actually release you closer to the item boxes, like lined up right into the double. But this pack was a little bit tighter than usual, so this is how it goes. But in general, it's actually going to keep you all the way down and release you right before the last set of boxes, which is the most important thing. You want to make sure you have items going into the final turn, because the final turn really determines the winner of the race. If you have mushrooms, you win. If you don't have mushrooms, your best bet is hit. It's a good spot. And then, yeah, Gecko was mentioning this is a good spot because shock can happen for no reason. That's true. Shocks a lot of times happen around this weird cut because a lot of people just get will farm items in the first box, or will get items in that second box and they spam it. So again, that is Yoshi's Valley. Hopefully that's helpful. Should have a superset of the Clash of Core points. Maybe. Alright, so next we're gonna go to Special Cup, which contains Cloudtop Cruise, Bone Dry Dunes, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road. So first we're going to go do Cloudtop Cruise. Ooh, don't go to sleep mode. Hello. First we're going to go do Cloudtop Cruise here. Cloudtop Cruise it has a cannon into it, so the item RNG can change a bit. So we're going to go show you where I'm going to show you where I like to use it. Which is actually before the cannon, before the right after one of the ships you see. So, like, I use it right there. Not the best spot for that I used it. Keep in mind, I was pretty bad execution, but it was where I wanted to do because it releases you right before the cannon, and basically I had a lightning bolt or a shock in mind, so I was able to destroy everybody. Ideally, you want a bullet bill in a star or a ghost or a crazy 8 because it's gonna release you before the glider part, and you want to make sure that you have a dodge. Yeah, I did target shock bait, but in general, you always want to make sure you have a dodge after. It just gets you through a really tight spot, and then also it gives you added protection. So that is Cloudtop Cruise. Now we're gonna go to Bone Dried Dunes. Bone Dried Dunes. I actually like Bone Dried Dunes. One of my favorite courses. Let's go down here. Here we go. All right, so I'm in 11th place, and this is the first lap. So what you want to use it is before. I also want to mention, Bone Dried Dunes has a split path part, right? There's the anti-gravity part and the normal path. You should never take the normal path. Take the anti-gravity part. It's always the fastest part. So I'm in the anti-gravity area, the one that's on the right, a normal 150cc. And you want to use the bullet bill right before the glider. Don't trick and use it. You want to use it right before. As you can tell, there's someone else in the bullet bill behind me, and they actually didn't get it. They got out way before me. The fact that I used it before the glider, and it would end up making me pass this whole crazy area, and it releases me right to the finish line in a straight shot. So, ended up being a lot better experience for me. And it was nice that the computer also used the bullet bill to demonstrate a worse way to use the bullet bill. So, you love to see it when that happens. Okay, so now we're gonna go to Bowser's Castle in Special Cup. So Bowser's Castle, if you get a bullet bill, it can be kind of scary because you don't know if someone's going to try to do a target shock. Where I would recommend it, it's one of those just get me to the finish line bullet bills. So it's right at the final turn. You just grip, pop, use it. It'll just take you all the way to the finish line. If the pack is farther apart, it'll take you after the finish line and before the boxes. So it's a really good spot. I mean, honestly, it's one of those just get over with kind of bullet bills. So not bad. Now we're going to talk about Rainbow Road Special Cup. This is probably one of my favorite bullet bills because it looks really fucking cool. But really interesting about Rainbow Road, Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road, is that there is a cannon. So your items that you get, you're likely to actually get a lot of bullet bills in Rainbow Road. This one specifically, because the cannon magnifies the distance between first and whoever's behind them because of the weird physics that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Mario Kart 8 has. So we're actually going to show you where exactly you use it and why it's really fun, because I've actually dragged race with another and I have another clip somewhere else, old clip, but I have dragged race against another racer in the bullet bill for the finish line. So essentially you want to do is you want to hold the bullet bill for the last part of the race. As you can tell, this is when you get to here, you want to be on the right path that kind of crisscrosses. So this is like the best path to go to. You want to hop down. You want to use it right as you get down this spot. You can use it a little bit before if you're scared of shocks going to come, but I use it right as I land. And then what it will do is it will get you past a really tight spot, and it should release you right before the finish line, or sometimes right through the finish line, depending on how much the pack goes. But again, if you don't know where this line is for racing, just go on time trials. Really follow anybody that plays this, and they'll show you the fastest line. But that's the best spot because it releases you straight away, so you're not going to be released right on a weird spot. But also, keep in mind, the area where I put the bill, watch. I'm going to also show you something else in the beginning here. Come on, keep going. So there's a computer that decided to use a bullet bill. You see that person that used a bullet bill? They're ahead of me, right? They used a bullet bill right here instead of waiting. They end up being behind me completely because I waited and I was able to pass them and go through this weird area. So in general, you always want to kind of make sure you use it as optimal as you can. So all right. So now that is all special. That was all Special Cup. We're gonna go to Lightning Cup. I'll edit that out. Woo, all right. Lightning Cup is 4 tracks: Tick-Tock Clock, Piranha Plant Slide, Grumble Volcano, and Rainbow Road N64. So yes, it is true. It is extension time. It's also one of my favorite looking bullet bills. This one looks so fucking cool. I love how this looks. This is like when I first did it, I was like, whoa, this is sick. So I have a bullet bill in 12th here. I'm in lap 1. But this bullet bill is great in lap 2. It's okay lap 3, but it is a bullet bill extension area. Thank you, Gecko, for letting us know that. And basically, what you want to do is you want to turn into the last turn, hop, use it right there. As you can see, I was able to cut through a huge portion of the track, zip through, and it gets me all the way to the box, and then it releases me there. Fantastic bullet bill extension. The fact that and this is honestly perfect execution on my part. I'm very proud of myself. But you see what it did there? It got me through a really tight spot. It gave me through a lot of ground there, and it released me right before the item box, which is what you want. You want to make sure you get items after this game. But it looked like I was gonna die, but you want to make sure that you use it before you die, because I have waited a little bit too long before while I was making these clips, and I like watch. One time I was making this clip earlier, and then I forgot to use it at that point, and I waited a little bit, and then I died, and because the bullet bill went like down, and then I had to get saved by like Q2. Hey, but yeah, that's the best place to use the bullet bill. Oh, thank you so much. You know what? I am a little bit dehydrated. We'll take a little drink break. But again, this is probably one of the coolest ones. Bullet bill extension, fantastic. It looks awesome. It gets you to the finish line. It gives you protection, and it gets you boxes. That's super important. Again, that is Tick-Tock Clock. Super fun bullet bill. It just looks fantastic. So now we're going to talk about in Lightning Cup Piranha Plant side. So Piranha Plant side is a little tricky because I don't know if you always get bullet bills in Piranha Plant side, but there is a specific spot that I would recommend it, and it is actually in the last part of the track. So it's kind of a given where you would use it, because most people use mushrooms or stars to get through this cut. So you want to make sure you get through this area, drift, hop, and then use your bullet bill. It'll get you through a little kind of a tightish area here where see, I dodged. They have a super orange, which is fantastic. I was able to get out right by second and get item boxes and through. So end up doing what I wanted, which is give me distance, give me protection, and then give me item boxes, which is like really the 3 things you want as a bullet bill. Alright, so that is the Piranha Plant side. Hopefully that's helpful. Now I want to talk about Grumble Volcano. Grumble Volcano is a little weird, because some people use it in different areas. Honestly, it can be a little bit panicky, because some people might have shock, you don't really know. So it's really up to you what you would prefer. But I'm going to go ahead and show you where I think would be nice, which is actually after the first lap. As you can tell, this is the final lap here, right? Just going to cross the finish line. This is the front of the Grumble Volcano. You see the lava pits on your side. You want to wait until you get right at this point. You see the question mark box, and then you see once the question mark box starts disappearing, activate the bullet for the item boxes. What this will do is it'll get you a really nice spot. It'll hit you through a lot of people, and then it get you right after boxes, which sucks. But if you have a powerful item, you should be able to get through a lot of tight spots. And I had a star later on, so I should be able to at least extend my star up until the item boxes over there. So this in a more human races, that area is a little bit more tighter, and you'll be able to knock people out. So it does what I wanted, but not really the best thing in the world for this. But I like that all this. So next we're going to talk about the final race in Lightning Cup, which is Rainbow Road N64. So Rainbow Road N64 is probably one of my least favorite tracks, because there's not really any good comeback mechanics, even with a bullet bill. So in reality, the only place to really do the bullet bill is like a weird spot, which is actually the final turn. So it's one of those get me to the finish line, praying that I don't get target shock bullet bills. So as you can tell, I'm on lap 3. I'm in the final area before the item boxes. So you should be able to see the Bowser firework as you use it, and it'll get you through this area. You'll get boxes, but it's whatever. And then basically at this point, it'll release you right before the glider. So if you get hit, like I did, I was still able to regain speed and get first. So that's where I would recommend it. So it's your final turn, right after the railing, use it. So right after the railing, the final turn, you'll see the Bowser firework. You know you're good. You just want to make sure it will release you right before the straightaway. So if you get shocked or hit there, it released me at the straightaway, right? If I got shocked, I'm okay because I'm before the glider, and I'll regain speed by using the glider and going through. And I'm not getting target shocked out like in a really tough spot. This is a nice area. And look, I even get hit by something, but I'm still able to recover. Even if I had even without the mushroom, I'd at least be able to retain a decent spot. So I think in general, it's cool. So I like it. It's not the best thing in the world, but, you know, it's what you can do. It's Rainbow Road N64, not the best thing. All right. And we're going to go to Egg Cup, which actually brings us to our next Bullet Bill extension, which is Yoshi Circuit. So if you've ever played with a lobby with higher level people, they will use this to their advantage. Yes, thank you, Gecko, for letting us know it is Bullet Bill extension time. So there's different ways to do it. Most if you play this game enough, you probably have seen people use mushrooms, stars, and bullet bills too here. So I'm gonna show you what I do specifically. Is that some people like to hop and then use a bullet bill, but it doesn't really give you that much distance, in my opinion. It honestly actually puts you more at risk because if someone's smart, if I see someone with a bullet bill and they're hopping over here and I had a shock, I would actually use it before they got in there. Thinking they would wait delay it, and then I would kill them. But it's much better to use it right when you get to the berry bush. So I get to the berry bush, bam, use it. Like use it before you even try to trick. Don't try to do something fancy. You should be able to get through this huge area. As you can tell, it gets me through this whole twist. It'll end right at the turn here, so you want to make sure that you drift properly. This will get you a hell amount of distance. No shocks happen here, which is surprising, but in general, it was able to do the three things I wanted, which is gain distance, give you protection, and then also just make it look good. I talk fast? Sorry, man. I'll talk a little slower. But in general, yeah, that's what you want to do. Basically, use it right at the bush area. So don't wait for it. Just use it right before you get to it, and then you should be able to get through a lot of stuff. So there's Yoshi Circuit. Hopefully that helps you out. Also, I'll talk a little bit slower. I get really excited. Okay, so next course is called Excitebike Arena. Excitebike Arena is kind of boring. It's basically NASCAR. You turn right or left depending on mirror mode or not. So it's kind of obvious where to use the bull bill in this one specifically, because it's like, oh, where do I use it? The finish line, or do I use it the first turn or the second turn? Yeah, you want to use it the first turn. I mean, but we're just gonna show anyways. So as you can tell, my little dude here is flexing. So this is the first turn before the item boxes. What you want to do is what I'm doing here, which is making sure I get as tight as I can, hop into it, and then use the bullet bill. I should be able to get an item, but I didn't need one. And it will get you through a really weird section of the track. Now, it should release you right before the last part here. I'm able to zoom through. It did what it needed to do. Give me a bit of distance. It gave me protection. And also, it's a Excitebike Arena. It's not really that special. It's whatever. So not a bad spot. I mean, it's what you can do. Okay, so the next track is Dragon Driftway. So Dragon Driftway is pretty interesting. So there's two different areas where people would typically use the bullet bill. I'm just going to show you the area that I would recommend, just because if I show you so many different areas you can use bullet bill, this video would be like 5 hours. So we're not going to do that. So we're gonna go to back. Where's my Dragon Driftway? Here it is. So I would recommend using it at the last part. So this is one of those take me to the finish line, get it over with, whatever, bullet bills. As you can tell, I'm on lap 1 here, 12th place. This technique would probably be best in lap 2 or lap 3. It's very rare you have bullet bill in lap 3, so ideally you probably have this lap 2, which is basically you want to trick into the shortcut here and hop into it and then use the bullet bill. It'll get you some distance. It'll take you past the finish line, and it should let you off right around the corner, right before the item boxes. Which it does. Please tell me to do that. Yep, it did. Okay, great. Obviously, if you had a star, you want to make sure you change it to a double. I did not, so I opted for the single item box, only because I just don't want to embarrass myself when I'm recording this video. And it's computers, I just didn't know where they were going to go, because usually they just go straight in line. So not bad of a spot. It gets you your item boxes, gets you distance, gets you what you want. So hopefully that was helpful. Now we're gonna go to Mute City, which comes to our this is a bullet bill extension area. A lot of people don't know that. If you're watching the stream, you probably know that, but it's not major, but it is enough where if you do it correctly, you will surprise a lot of people. So another bullet bill, thank you. Another bullet bill extension. We'll show you how this looks like actually. Coming down here, where is my, there we go. So where this is, as you can see, I am in 8th place. I have a bullet bill and a star. Where you specifically need to use it is after. So this is the item box after this is the second item box right before the booster ramps into the final into the final boxes area. So what you want to use it is right before the first ramp, right there. When it's right there, what it will do is it will carry you through this really tight spot. This spot is really hectic. You won't take the shortcut, but that's fine because what the bullet bill will actually keep going around the snake and should release you right before the finish line. So as you can see there, I was able to gain a lot of distance by using it right before that second ramp area. It'll get you through this whole spot. I have basically 10 seconds of protection, and I had to start after, so I ended up being great. But if this is lap 2, or if this is lap 3, really great, because you're able to gain a lot of distance, no one can stop you. Sometimes and I've seen people that are not the best players in the world get first place because they did this accident, because they didn't know that using the bullet bills right at that spot will give you this advantage. So, great spot to be in. Even if you got hit or shocked, you still have some sort of way to get past here. So, again, that's Q City. Really fun bullet bill extension. I hope they never get rid of it, because it just looks cool. Okay, so now we're going to go to Triforce Cup. There's four courses in Triforce Cup. There's Wario's Gold Mine, Rainbow Road, Ice Outpost, and Hyrule Circuit. Wario's Gold Mine bullet bill is kind of like a but we're gonna show anyways because we got to. It doesn't look that fancy. The thing is about Wario's Gold Mine, it was a lot more shortcut intensive in the Wii. They kind of dumbed it down on the Deluxe. So this is one of those, just use the bullet bill and get it over with and done with. It's one of those, you put it right before the boxes here. You want to use it. It'll get you through this tight path. Usually it's a lot of hecticness. It'll get you through this tight turn, and then it'll get you past the finish line. So, and then right before the boxes. So if you're in a lap 2 or 3 situation, it's great because it'll give you protection, and it'll end up making sure that you can get boxes after. If it's lap 3, you just get to the finish line. Whatever, it's all good. So that's Wario's Gold Mine. Now we're gonna go to Rainbow Road Super Nintendo. This is actually my favorite Rainbow Road, and this one looks really cool. I like how this one looks because it just looks fancy. So what you want to do here is it's actually so this is cool. This actually looks great because this is I'm showing you a lap 3 situation use of this. You can do this lap 2, but lap 3 it's really powerful. So at this point, this is the second item boxes after the thwomps are dropping. What you want to do is you take this super tight turn as I'm doing. You want to go to the ramp, activate it, trick, activate. I tricked just to be cool, but what I'm doing there is I was able to trick, activate it. It takes you all the way in this area. Hopefully the thwomp will be in your face, and I was able to zoom past everybody. If it was real players, I probably would have gotten hit, but I was basically able to gain a hell amount of distance, get through a really weird spot, and then essentially, take first. So not that bad, but in general, that's where you use it for, and it just looks cool. Nice how it looks like. Okay, now we're gonna go to Ice Outpost. Ice Outpost is very interesting because there's a specific spot, and you can at least remember because of the color coding where it is. Also, remember if you're racing an Ice Outpost, the yellow path is for memes. The green path is usually the fastest path. So as you can see here, this is a lap 2, lap 3 situation type of bullet bill, but I'm on lap 1. This is the final turn after. This is the final turn at boxes that into the glider part. What you want to do is be on the green path. Look for the iceberg. You want to wait for the yellow part. Right under the yellow bridge, you use it. You can hold left or right or whatever you want, but in general, what it's going to do is get you past this really tough section and release you right before the finish line. So it's really good in a lap 2, really good in lap 3, because the final lap, there might be a target shock, there might be some hecticness. It gives you some protection over the glider part, which can be bad. As you can see, I hit the Bowser, and he kind of got screwed for it. He fell off the map. Poor guy. R.I.P. Bowser. So, but yeah, that spot there, right under the yellow bridge. That's all I gotta remember. Okay. Now we're going to go to Hyrule Circuit. So Hyrule Circuit is kind of tricky because Hyrule Circuit, you don't typically get bullet bills, but it does look kind of cool the way it operates here. So we're going to pull it up over here. So this is the beginning of the course. This is all, I'm on the final lap here, but this is the beginning of course after the first boxes, right after the glider. So what it does here is it gives you protection, gives you distance, and it also just hits people, which is great, right? So this is what we're gonna do here. So right here, use it right before the glider. I don't trick. I usually just use it right before it, and then I hold left so I can just make it seem like it's tighter. And and it shouldn't release you right after that spot, which is great because now I have mushrooms and do whatever, and I just, you know, I can take the no item shortcut and get first at that point. Or if I get shocked, I can just ride something. So that's where it goes there. Actually, if you go a little bit faster down the stairs, if you can tell there, I don't think it's significant, but it just also just looks really cool. So, all right, that's Hyrule Circuit, and that is all of Triforce Cup. Now we're gonna do Crossing Cup, and we're gonna start with Baby Park, everybody's favorite course. Okay, so Baby Park. Yeah, if you get a Bullet Bill in Baby Park, you're likely bagging or you're likely racing really bad. But the main goal of Baby Park specifically is to go for a dodge for a lightning bolt and then take advantage there. So typically speaking, what lap to use it in. Honestly, if you have a Bullet Bill, no matter what lap, it's best to use it after you cross the finish line on the first turn, because it's likely a lightning bolt's in play somehow, or something's going to happen, or you might get hit by something. So you don't want to lose your powerful items if you have a Bullet Bill. So as you can see, I'm the 9th here. We just passed the finish line into the 5th lap. I'm going through the cut here. I drift into it, hop, then use the Bullet Bill. I'll be able to get through a good amount of distance. I think I pop out and I just hold L for my Piranha and I just, you know, keep going. No shock happened. I thought a shock was at this point, but sometimes a shock just don't happen. So not bad. It gets you a full lap. Usually it gives you a full lap and a half, but that one was basically just a full lap of protection. And then it got me to the next area I wanted to be. It gave me some placements as well. So not horrible, but not the best thing in the world. So now we're gonna talk about Cheese Land. Cheese Land is a notorious bagging track where people hold back to farm as much items as they can. The Bullet Bill here looks really cool, actually. I like how it looks. And it is an extension area. So thank you for mentioning that, folks. So where to use it, here's the funny thing. People use the Bullet Bill too late here, and I've seen people use it too late in a tournament and lose their Bullet Bill, and not knowing that it didn't matter where they used it. So as you can see, I'm going into the 2nd lap. This can be great 2nd lap or 3rd lap. It's very rare that you have it at this, like, obviously 1st lap, but you want to use it right there. Hold on. This is super important. So, the first turn, I skip boxes. I drift into, and you want to hop, and you want to use it right at that spot there. What it will do is your Bullet Bill will continue on forward, keep going, get you past a really tight spot. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. It keeps going, and it releases you right at glider. And then I was able to basically have another dodge after, and you're gonna keep forward. So what I want to say is that the mistake that people make is that you see where I used it here. Okay, there's like what 2 seconds of protection, right? Like we can count this, right? 1, 2, 3. So you see that was like basically 2.5, 3 seconds. You see over here, some people wait until they use their Bullet Bill in this area right over here on the right. You see that? That's where some people like to wait to use it. The thing is, what they don't realize is this section between here and there, it doesn't matter for the Bullet Bill. Just don't wait. Use it right here. You'll have protection for a good 2.5, 3 seconds. There's no point for you to wait and possibly lose your Bullet Bill to a Boo or a Lightning. So again, you want to use it right at that first cut. It'll release you right at glider. You are in a vulnerable spot here, but if you have a protection item like a star, or if you have a mushroom, just keep going so you don't get shocked above glider. So, or if you have the shock, then it's pretty much GG's. You'll win the game, which I've done before. I've had a point where I had a Bullet Bill and a shock and was able to basically win that at a point. But that's Cheese Land. All right, so now Wildwood. Wildwood is one of those Bullet Bills. It's kind of just like, yeah, whatever. Let's get it done with kind of Bullet Bills. It's not my favorite one. Doesn't even look that fun. It's just a whatever. You want to use it right at the. I would recommend it right here, which is So actually, there's two people. Some people recommend it at the end. I like to do it here. There's some people want to do it at the end, but I actually like to do it in this tight path on the right because typically speaking, lap 2 and 3. You're going to have a really tight situation. Keep in mind, there are some other videos or some of the people that would recommend it at the end, but I like it at this point because, one, this is what we'll do here. I gain distance, I get into a really tight spot, I use my Bullet Bill all the way through, and then it should release me, I believe, right during ladder or after ladder. I remember what it was. Yeah, like right during ladder, which is fine. It puts me in a vulnerable spot, but I didn't have a dodge, but at least I gain distance and I can keep going. But also just at least it gets me to this really tight spot with a lot of people with like shells and whatnot. But okay, that's Wildwoods. Now to Animal Crossing. So Animal Crossing is interesting because remember there are 4 seasons for Animal Crossing that you can race in. There is spring, summer, fall, winter. The key thing with the seasons is fall and winter will drop. Fall, winter, summer will drop mushrooms or fruit from the trees. If there's a lightning or if there is if you bump into them. Spring does not. That's one of the things. That's why spring is my least favorite. Also, the handling on the winter one is a little bit worse, so just keep that in mind for Animal Crossing. But he will show you now what the best place to use for the Bullet Bill from Animal Crossing specifically. I think I got the fall season, so it ends up being easier to recognize. So this is after the glider section, the waterfall. What you want to do is use it right. See that tree? Use it right after the tree, right after the waterfall section. What this will do is it'll get you to this spot. You'll get an item box if you need an item box, but it should release you right before the finish line, which it does here for me. So I was able to get through that tight spot, use you right before the finish line. I end up getting first place. Fantastic. Obviously computers or whatever, but it was a nice strategy. I think it did what I wanted to do, which is gain distance, give me protection, and also just look cool. But yeah, that's Animal Crossing. So now that is all of Crossing Cup. Now we'll finish our last one here. Neo Bowser City. Bell Cup. And we're going to start with Neo Bowser City. Neo Bowser City is interesting if you have a Bullet Bill just because of the way it operates, but it looks really cool because it's Neo Bowser City. Neo Bowser City just looks cool in general. So let's look at where I had it here. So I actually end up getting a Bullet Bill in the lap 1. This is great lap 2, lap 3 situation Bullet Bill, but we're just going to show what I did here, which is I had a Bullet Bill lap 1. I waited until after the second item boxes into the highway area, and I waited until the first kind of like it's the second sign in the highway area. You activate it. You get through this really tight spot here. It'll get you through these turns like it's doing right now. It's doing what I wanted. It should release you in the straightaway right before boxes there. Fantastic Bullet Bill execution. Really great lap 2. Really good lap 3 if you're able to have like a shock a lightning or a shock in your hand or a star or whatever, because it'll release you right before item boxes and it'll give you that significant advantage. So I was able to basically win this race. But again, this is computer, so whatever. But it's probably my favorite spot to use the Bullet Bill in Neo Bowser City. And again, it's the second sign as you enter the highway after the second boxes. So I'm gonna play it one more time. So that's the first little thingy. The second sign right underneath. That's when you activate it. Okay, so that's Neo Bowser City. We're gonna go to Ribbon Road in Bell Cup. So Ribbon Road's kind of interesting because like it just looks cute. But we're gonna get to it real quick here. We're near the end, right? Yeah, we are. Okay. Oh, nope, that's my... Wait, what the... Oh, yeah, sorry. There we go. So, pretty simple where you want to use it. It's usually a good lap 2 situation. Lap 3, if you have a Bullet Bill here, it's kind of weird that you have a Bullet Bill there, because you're probably going to lose the race. But really good lap 2 is basically, this is the final turn into the finish line. You want to glide into it. You want to drift in. You want to pop your Bullet Bill right in, like pop into the tightest corners you can. Because keep in mind, you can activate the Bullet Bill accidentally and be on the left side of those 3 pillars and go the long way. But you want to make sure you hang tight, hit right between there. You go through that spot. It'll give you a lot of distance. It should release you after, right after this spot, right before the little poopling. So I was able to be the straightaway here. I activated my shock. I basically destroyed everybody. Someone used the blue shell, so I ended up dominating that race. So great spot to use it in. It gives you a lot of protection. And also you'll end up getting item boxes after. So great lap 2, lap 3. But lap 2 is fantastic. That spot. Okay, so now we're gonna get to our next course, which is Super Bell Subway, which is a huge bagging track. Keep in mind, this specifically is because people like to hold back, farm shock and all that. So your main goal here is to really dodge shock. But there is a nice spot for you to use it on Super Bowl Subway that I would recommend, even if you have it and you can wait a little bit, which is actually at the final turn here. Really great lap 2 situation. Lap 1, it's good lap 1 if you're trying to dodge something, but this is lap 2 for me. You want to turn into that spot right after the red shy guy, use it. you should be able to get through. Should take you right before the second right before the second boxes, which is where you want. So I was able to get stopped there. If I had a star, obviously I would have gone to double boxes and hopefully change something better. But again, right at the final turn, right between that path after the red shot guy. That's all you gotta remember. Or so well, so good. Not the best thing, but it's really good lap 2. Final lap, if you get Bullet Bill there, good luck getting 8th place. Okay, the last course for us is Big Blue. Big Blue is one of my favorite courses. I love Big Blue. The saxophone hits so hard. And the Bullet Bill is, there's different areas you can use the Bullet Bill. My recommendation with Bullet Bill is that you either use it to dodge lightning or shock that you expect after the glider or before or during the cannon part, but most people, and including myself, my favorite part is actually around this cut corner here at the final turn into the finish. Keep in mind, I kind of mess up, so this is not the best lines, but it does what I needed to do. So I was going here, and I got hit by the blue shell, so my line's kind of fucked up. So I got there, you basically want to drift up and then use it. It would look a lot better if I didn't get hit by the blue shell. But I was able to basically use the Bullet Bill, get into the final turn there, and finish first. So, again, what you want to do a better way is basically not get hit by a blue shell, drift hop in midair, and then you should be able to take you all the way basically in front of the finish line. So, and that is all of the ways that I would recommend using Bullet Bill optimally in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Hopefully this was helpful. These were all the 48 courses before the Booster Pass DLC. I will make another video eventually when the Booster Pass DLC Wave 1 comes out. I'm going to wait until we figure out what the strategies are. I'm sure there's a bunch of different people going to work on other videos, but I feel like, in general, I've been lacking in creating some content on that side of things because I know some people just like hearing me talk and just being, hanging out with me. So I'm going to be making sure I pump out more content like this and really try to help out people that are kind of like more casual or casual competitive, because there is a certain gap in that area. There's a lot of huge player base in this game, and I feel like they can help with multiple different viewpoints for different games. So hopefully that was helpful. Again, if you're on YouTube, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe. You can let me know what's your favorite Bullet Bill strat. If you have any different strats you'd like to do, please mention it. These aren't the best. These aren't the only ways you can use a Bullet Bill, but these would be probably the most optimal ways from my perspective when it comes to racing with humans or a little bit better players. So again, I'll put timestamps, so hopefully you can even go back and then you should be able to see which one is which and which is the Bullet Bill extension or whatever. But again, thank you again for watching. Appreciate it. You all have a good night. Bye bye. Okay, Twitch.